I looked at John, and I looked at Nick. Well, actually Nick's quite tall, so I looked at Nick. And I put my hand on the girl and I said, "You, my friend, are a pillar of society." Ladies and gentlemen, for the first comedian for Act 2.
When's Act 2?
It finished.
Cool, I didn't know they did that.
So our first comedian for Act 2, ladies and gentlemen, has climbed Mount Everest 3 times in one afternoon with his face. While he was at the top, he built an orphanage. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the brilliant Dhruv Iyer.
Great. Much more response than the last show. What was all that about Mount Everest? Is that climbing with my face? Is that saying something about my face? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But I was talking with my uncle this morning, and he was back in India, all my family is back in India. And I was talking about my day, and I mentioned Hungry Jack's, and he just could not get over the name Hungry Jack's. If Jack is hungry, why is he selling all the food? Yeah, I like that joke too. My uncle, he's a bit of a character. He's always in charge of, the kids. When we were kids with me, he had like get-togethers and gatherings and stuff. He was always in charge of like entertaining us. It was kind of, he always just tells like fables and stories and stuff, but they're always just a little bit like, you never know. I remember once he told us a story of the tortoise and the hare. You guys know that story, obviously. It's a pretty well-known story. Anyway, I got to the end of the story and he said, what do you think is the moral of the story? We were trying to guess. Is it slow and steady wins the race? No. Okay, is it don't be overconfident? No. Okay, is it don't underestimate your opponent? No. The hare is a Pakistani match fixer. Never trust a Pakistani. That was my uncle. There's actually a legit story. I just remember it. I was in India about 2 years ago. Okay, this is the type of sense of humor that my uncle gets. It was morning time. It was breakfast time, and there was about 4 or 5 families like in the house. And when there's 4 Indian women in the house, like the kitchen's just going off. Like there's so much food. And anyway, for breakfast, they were just cooking up this huge like feed. And then we had this dish in India called ade. It's like a bread type thing. You eat it with like yogurt and butter and stuff. And anyway, I asked for some butter. And my uncle was like, yeah, I'll get it. Ran to the kitchen and got me some butter. And then for the rest of the meal, he just continued, hey, Dhruv, how's the butter, man? How's the butter? Everybody like butter? How's the butter? He didn't do anything else. He didn't do anything else for the whole meal. He just got butter for one person, just me. He didn't get butter for anyone else. Hey, Dhruv. How's the butter? You like the butter? You enjoy it? No? Okay, good. Settle down. Do you guys like animals? You guys big animal lovers?
Yeah.
Not really. Half and half. If it's in my way, I'll swerve out of the way. That's about it. I'm not gonna do anything else. I like animals. I watch documentaries with my parents a lot. My dad loves animal documentaries, and but sometimes I just watch some of the things that we do to animals, and I was just thinking about it the other day, and I was like, man, some of the stuff we do is just ridiculous. Like if it happened to you, like let me paint this picture. You're working all day. Okay, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You're going for a late lunch. Okay, we're going around town and you find one shop open. No shops are open. You find this one shop. You walk inside. They have one pie left. Okay, you haggle and wrestle with this guy to sell you this pie. Somehow you get it. Okay, you come outside. You sit down. Okay, take one bite into this pie, and there's a hook in it. There's a hook in the pie. okay? And it's just grabbing your cheek and it's just making like a little hole in your cheek, and you're freaking out because there's a hook in your pie, like, so it's just like grabbing, and just as you like try to, oh my god, you just realize what happened, and you try to start getting it out, someone starts like yanking you up the road, like they just start pulling you up the road, like you just start getting just pulled up the road. You're trying to have your lunch, and someone's just like hooked your mouth. And you're like just getting pulled up halfway up the road. This mate runs down the road and like throws like a net on top of you, like they drag you up onto the bank, like weigh you, like they take photos. Come on, I don't know. Okay, like you know they wait. Oh, he's been eating too many pies. Getting a bit fat. Weigh you, take photos, and then they just throw you back. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that'd fuck your day up. Like, come on. Like, you're working all day, and then you suddenly like you just get caught. Why do you think fish look so surprised? Why do you think they don't look like that with their eyes all wide? They just got caught. That's why they look so surprised. They were chilling and like just having a feed or something, and they just suddenly out of the blue. Anyway, not big fish fans, obviously. Never seen cousins fish really. Have you ever seen people who walk dogs? You know the main mission for walking a dog is? It's like it's exercise and all that, yes, but the main thing a dog is looking to do when you're walking it is to take a shit. You gotta know that. Like the dog, when it's like sniffing around, just trying to find a place to shit. Okay? I heard someone go, oh, this is just natural. This is what the dog needs to do. And like I just see some of these people like heel, like the front legs aren't even touching the ground anymore, like for the dog. Now, the dog's trying to sniff around. It needs to go to the toilet, okay? And you just pull it. Imagine if that was you, okay? You're walking around and someone's just, bro, I need to try to find a place to take a shit here. And you just, heel. Come on, let me just sniff around. And when I go home, when I take a shit on the carpet at home, you're, oh, bad dog, get out. And now I'm trying to sniff around and you just, heel. No, bad dog. I'm not trying to run away. I'm trying to take a shit. Jeez, while I'm shitting right now. I'm pushing your shit out right now, and you're just heel. If you were sitting on the toilet, okay, and you've just got a chain around your neck, and someone's just continually just pulling it, you're like shitting. Like, come on, dude, stop it. Seriously. No, obviously it's not very relatable. I guess that was my mistake there. What kind of laugh am I here? What if someone was pulling me? I want to take you down there, some dark places in my mind. No. I was watching, do you guys like sport? I was watching same strand of talking about like or conversation, but I was watching the news and the sport part of the news, and they showed this guy Brian Javana. He's like a winger for South Africa on their rugby union team, and for his training, legitimately for his training, this is what they did. They captured a cheetah, okay, and they made him race against this cheetah, okay. Now, if you're the cheetah, now you're trying to like provide for your family and like trying to like sort your shit out, and someone captures you to race like a human, like. I'm way faster than him, are you kidding? Like, why do I have to race him? I'm like trying to hunt for my family. Reggie, back at the Pride, like, he's way slower than me. You could have just got him. He just sits on his ass all day doing nothing. You could have got him, he would have burned your guy off as well. Come on, seriously. I grew up in New Zealand. I don't know if you can tell my accent yet, but I grew up in New Zealand. And English wasn't my first language either, and some stuff in English that really stumped me the first time I heard it. Like the word disease, like if you break down the word disease, it's dis-ease, right? So it means not at ease. Now, that's kind of a light way to describe like cancer. Like, I'm dying of AIDS, I'm not at ease. Like, is that the best way you want to describe it? Like, come on. Not at ease to me is like sitting next to two really fat people on an airplane. Like that's not at ease. That's what you very uncomfortable. I'm just glad they're on either side. Like I don't just like turn right or something. But that's a bit harsh. I'm sorry. I don't know. So there's a few other phrases that kind of bug me. I've heard this phrase quite a bit. Especially in the media. I think it's a bit of a glorifying thing. And it's a phrase like "rebel without a cause." You guys heard this phrase "rebel without a cause"? I hate that phrase. Rebel without a cause to me, you're just basically a prick. That's what you are. A rebel. Let's examine this. Let's break it down. Like a rebel is someone who like disrupts and like disrupts and annoys people to bring attention to something, like an issue, like human rights or something. You're being rebellious. You're trying to go against the man, or what you want to call it, the constitution, the institution, and you want to try and draw attention to something. Now, written without a cause, you're just doing all that for no reason. Like, why? So like you're driving down the road and you're trying to get to work, and you see like a protest. You're like, oh, what's this protest for? Oh, it's a strike for teachers, or it's like a human rights thing. Oh, okay, all right, fair enough. They've got a reason. It's going to make me late and kind of pissed, but hey, it's okay. You come up, you line up, same traffic lights, there's a protest going on. Hey, what's this protest for? Oh, no reason. Get out of the way! I want to go to work, mate! Why are you in the way? I don't want to... Get a job, seriously. Rebel without a cause. If you're calling yourself a rebel without a cause, get a job, seriously. You're just a prick. You're just a drain. I get into arguments a lot. I don't know if you... This way of thinking, sometimes I'm pretty adamant with it, and I get into a lot of arguments. And you never... The thing is, even when someone wins an argument, they never just let it be, do they? It really shows the ugly side of human nature, I think, arguments. Hey, Tom, they never just let it be. Hey, Tom, do you know Dhruv thought that tomato was a vegetable? What an idiot, what a dumbass, what a retard. Hey, Dhruv, you're so stupid, man. We all learned that in primary. You still thought it was a vegetable? What an idiot. What a dumbass, what a retard. How was he in law school? He's so dumb. He thought tomato was a vegetable. That's it. Anything you say is completely invalidated. Later on, like 2 days later, I was watching the news, and like an issue came out. I actually wanted to express my opinion on it. Like, I think it was like a asylum seeker or something. I was like, well, I think, no, shut up, Drew, shut up. You thought tomato was a vegetable. Shut up, you can't say anything. You thought tomato was a vegetable. You're a retard. Shut up. No, nothing you say matters. Come on. Yeah. Teenager, I'm 19 at the moment, turning 20. I really feel like I'm at the back end of being a teenager now. I'm starting to feel like I'm leaving. I can tell because I'm like starting to like really hate teenagers. Like, I hate being a teenager sometimes. I'm just starting to really disappointed with youth in general. It's just, I think we're just falling from what we used to be. You know those songs that like old people used to sing, like "We Are the Future." I don't think that's us anymore. I think we relinquished that right a long time ago. I don't know. I was watching 60 Minutes, and then the special on like bullying, like Facebook bullying and stuff. And they had these 14, 15-year-old girls. Okay, sometimes it's like harsh. It's like harsh, like what's going on, but. Like, these 14-year-old girls like, oh, I want to commit suicide. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but isn't youth like just like jumping to suicide like a little quickly? Like, straight to suicide. Like, oh, like, bullying in school, oh, I want to kill myself straight away. Like, no way. Like, I remember being in school, and some of the shit I was caught at school, like, if I was committing suicide over it, it'd be pretty... I'll tell you this story. I was at a bus stop. Yeah, I was at a bus stop in my high school. And this is legitimately what someone called me. Keep in mind, this was meant to be an insult. Okay, just keep that in mind. This is literally what I heard. I was standing at the bus stop. Hey, black hands, white palms. Hey, that's actually what they called me. That's actually what they called me. Not a word of a lie. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I can point you to something, if I can draw your attention to something, my hands are in fact black on the back and white on the front, on white palms. There's no more basic observation you can make. Like, there's nothing. It's like me walking down the road. Hey, brown hair, big nose. Brown hair, big nose. Hey, look at me. Come on. Really? Oh, I want to kill myself. Like, really? Come on. Come on. And it's not like, you know, one time I was sitting on the bus, someone actually called me a nigger. Now I don't know, like, nigger is a derogatory term, as we all know, for African Americans in Africa, in America. And it's because of slavery or whatever. I'm an Indian. In New Zealand. Like, there's no... I didn't even think New Zealand was a country before they used nigger. Like, I wasn't even offended. It was like, it just took racism, like, it was like, racism is ignorant in itself, but it's like being wrong about being racist. Like, I just stood up and like, I applauded the guy. I was just like, how are you, like, are you serious? You exist on this, like, it was crazy, man. Oh, I killed myself. Like, come on. Come on, seriously. You know, and the other thing, it's on both ends, because I think the media, like, they try to make bullying like this big thing. I don't know, sometimes, like, and it's because they use words like epidemic, obesity epidemic, bullying epidemic, you know. It's like some kind of virus, like, it's not what happened to kids being assholes, man? Like, kids are assholes. I'm not trying to take anything away, but if you even talk to like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, they're self-absorbed people. They don't consider anyone else's feelings on anything. They just say what they think. I was about 6 years old. I just moved from New Zealand. Okay, I'll tell you the story. Now, I just moved from New Zealand, and it was like, I think my first or second Christmas. And it was just at that age, we were all at that age where, like, you know, 6, 7 years old, you were right in the thrall of Santa Claus. Anyway, I was a Hindu. I was brought up Hindu. So I'd never heard of Santa Claus before. So we were in class, and this guy was like trying to explain to me Santa Claus. And I told you I get into a lot of arguments. I wouldn't let him. I was like, no, there is no Santa Claus. Like, if you had never heard of Santa Claus, and someone came up to you and tried to convince you, like there's an old bearded man, and he breaks into your house every 25th of December and leaves you presents, you're obviously going to deny it. Like, come on. I mean, someone comes up to you, hey, Eric, what did you give for Christmas last year? What's Christmas? Santa Claus, you know Santa Claus, he comes into your house. No, there's no Santa. Who's this guy? Yeah, he comes into your house and he gives you presents. Dude, come on, no, I've never got presents from, never got presents from this. Anyway, I managed to convince this guy that there was no Santa Claus and crush his dreams without knowing. You gotta understand as well. I come up looking a bit evil in this, but I was 6 as well. Okay, you gotta acknowledge that. So anyway, this kid goes home, and he obviously goes talking to his parents. He was a bit upset about it, probably. And he came to school the next day, and this is what he told me. He told me, my mum said you're wrong and I'm right, and the reason you don't get any presents is because you're a bad person. Now, I'm glad you're enjoying this, and this is a great entertainment for you. But seriously, like, I was 6. You're a bad person, and that's why you don't get presents, and everyone else does? Are you serious? Kids are mean, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel that I'm sort of growing up now. You can sort of see it. And my brother's 16. My brother's 16, and he's sort of in the middle of all this this teenage business. I mean, I was back home for holidays, and one night it was about 11 o'clock. My parents went to his room, and he was gone. He wasn't there. He snuck out. And my parents lost their shit, obviously. You guys have ever heard about Indian parents? Man, it was crazy. My dad rang him up. Minna, where are you? Why are you not in your bed? Don't let me laugh right now. I'm trying to do an impression here. You're going to make me laugh. Stop it. Okay. Minna, where are you? Oh, Dad, I'm at a party. What? What are you doing? Michael, I can hear him. He's doing drugs. I can hear him injecting. He's injecting something. Dad, sit him down. Dad, you think you can hear him injecting heroin on the farm? Are you serious? Are you serious, Dad? In Murumba, of all places. Murumba. There's 7,000 people in Murumba. There's no traffic lights. Yeah, there's 2 police officers. Settle down there. So anyway, I went to pick him up, and I came home, and my dad went off it, and it was like his greatest hits album. And everything. Money doesn't grow on trees. You're going to end up in a gutter someday. Or everything. It's constant. Anyway, in the middle of this tirade and this rant, he just stops, out of the blue in the middle, and he just looks at me and goes, Dhruv, did you put P-Plex? Did you put P-Plex in the car and go? Did you put P-Plex? Oh, no, it's just up the road. What? How dare you didn't put me? What if the insurance company comes and, where will I get the money? For to pay for the insurance? Where will I get the money? Money doesn't grow on trees. You think money grows on trees? Where will I get? And then he turned into, have you guys seen The Godfather? It was like I was about to be whacked. That's honestly, he was like standing there, he had the whole arm thing like, where will I get the money? I didn't even get it. I didn't even get the money. Oh, shit there. Don't pressure me. I gotta get it by midnight or something. I don't know. He just started tearing. My brother left. My brother went to his room. Never broached the topic again. Meanwhile, I got into trouble. I don't know. I feel like I'm only 3 years older than my brother, but I feel like there's been like a 10-year gap in like how discipline has evolved like over. I remember when I was a kid, I used to do stuff, man. I used to get in so much trouble. But there used to be 2 Indian kids in my year, I remember, and whenever we used to have this mutual thing. I don't really used to talk to him much. We never discussed this. It was funny how we came up with it. It's a bit of a mutual thing, but whenever he got into trouble, he'd just blame me, and so it was me. And then when I got into trouble, I'd always blame him. And it was funny because my parents, whenever they got a call, so my dad got a call. Yeah, Mr. Iyer, we've got a report that your son's been throwing shrimp at a van. Yeah, I just shouldn't shit around the kid, I don't know. And then he would hang up, Dhruv, is this true? You've been throwing seafood? You're throwing seafood at the van? What are you doing? Why are you throwing food? People are starving. I said, no, it was Amrit. It was the other guy. It was Amrit. And white people, they always used to mix me up. They never know. I don't know why, but for some reason, white people just can't tell brown people apart. So, it was just, I don't know. I was just saying to him. But the funniest part was, I don't even know why I'm telling you the story. I don't even have a punchline to it, but the funny part of the story was, whenever we used to have like Indian community gatherings, my mum and this guy's mum used to like get to talking, and they used to each try to give each other like parental advice because they thought the other one's kid was like bad. And they were like, so they just walk up to other parents. How are things at home? How's Amrit doing? Is he doing fine? Like, how are things at home? I'm hearing like it's a bad. And like by the end of the night, it used to get really funny because they used to like, they figured it out. Like the other one was trying to give them parental advice, and they used to start arguing like, whose kid's like, you think my kid is bad? Like your kid, like they used to get like to it. I don't know. There's no punchline for that. I'm sorry. You should have been there. That's really bad stand-up, isn't it? Really, you have to be there. I'm sorry, I can't say this. You have to be there. You have to be there. So teenagers, man. Do you know what the epitome? Do you know what the disappointment I was talking about youth before? Like the epitome of it. I saw this ad on TV. It was for pimples, I think. It was like Proactive something. I don't know what it is. But there was this professional BMX rider, and he was like, yeah, when I get pimples, I like lose confidence, how they say these ads, and sometimes my racing is affected. Now, if you're a professional athlete, and your performance is affected by pimples, I think you should retire. To be honest, and then kill yourself. Because honestly, it's just an epitome of, I just hate it, honestly, how it's just, and it's, I don't know, it's a mixture of everything, I guess, I don't know. I just call it how I see it, just trying to be real. When I was in school, I was an Indian kid, and I think everyone gets picked on a little, and I think it's a little bit character building. For me, because I was the only brown kid, the main theme of when people used to diss me or bully me was that I was a terrorist. That was the main. That was the favorite. And so any room I went into in the classroom, it was like, chick Drew's back for bombs, like straight away. I had to go through customs every time I went to a new classroom. In my bag out, take everything out. What's this aerosol? You're not supposed to have it. I always get bombarded at all the checkouts, and all through school I was always trying to explain to people. I'm not a terrorist. My dad's an engineer. He has his own business, asset reliability and maintenance solutions. That's his business. And that was tough though because my dad used to pick me up from school, and so he used to come pick me up in a big black SUV with the acronym for his business on his number plate. So he used to come in a big black SUV with arms one on the number plate. And so I had to try and explain to these kids that, I'm not a terrorist, and they don't get really, dude, we're just joking, but I used to what are you doing? Like, you guys here to bomb something? And people used to get so freaked out. The whole thing came to a head. I went to the States with about 9 mates, and the whole thing came to a head there because I was the first one to clear customs, and they all thought it would be a big laugh to applaud. They gave me an ovation as soon as I cleared customs. Yeah, you're laughing more than I did, I'll be honest with you. I still can't walk properly, right?